Salutations, crustaceans. We've reviewed the Sire V3 and the Sire V5 fretless, and now we are going to review the Sire V7 Vintage. As the model number goes up, does the quality go up as well? Well, let's find out. This is the Sire V7 Vintage, coming in at $750 brand new for this ash model. It is over twice the price of the Sire V3 4-string. And is it worth it? Though they do have a different pickup set, the preamps as well as the cheap knobs are shared between the two models. The Sire V3 has a satin finished neck that feels a bit cheaper, but this has a full gloss neck, similar in feel and quality to that of the Sire V5, though personally, I would probably take the Sire V5 neck more. I love that roasted maple look. With the Sire V7 Vintage, you're given the choice of alder or ash for the body material, and this is the ash version, which is the slightly more expensive one. Now, I did not purchase this instrument new, so I did not pay the full $750 because, in my opinion, I really don't think it's worth it, and we're going to go over why. The bridge, as well as the tuners, though higher quality than that of the V3, are the same that you find on the $500 Sire V5. The neck is a big improvement over the V3, both in feel and quality, and the body, though made of a superior material, doesn't really look that much better. I mean, the Sire V3s were never one for having bad QC, especially when it comes to their paint jobs, and they do offer a ton of different finish options for the V3, whereas the V7 and the V7 Vintage do offer a more limited range. The neck is a 20-fret maple on maple deal with a 34-inch scale and a standard jazz nut width and contour. And I just have to mention it again, this preamp is the exact same that you find in the $369 Sire V3. So what are you really getting for twice the price? Over twice the price? Well, let's see what this thing sounds like. You guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. Wow, this definitely has that Marcus Miller tone. Well, that's for sure. Not bad at all. Yeah, you like that, don't you? So as I mentioned a couple times earlier, this shares the exact same preamp as the Sire V3. And that means you have a load of knobs here. It took me a few minutes to look down and realize what they all did because there's a lot. And it's the same cheap plastic knobs, just the pull-off ones. There's the pull-off, yeah. That you find on the V3. Not really a good look for an instrument that costs almost twice as much as the V3. I wish they used higher quality knobs. Now the one that I received, the knobs were actually sitting up really high, so I actually took out the preamp, installed some locking nuts, and locking nuts, or locking washers, whatever. I installed a couple of locking washers, and then I installed the preamp to get the knobs a little bit lower. However, we had a casualty, and I did lose one of the smaller guys, so this stack here is running topless. Please don't call the police. So let's do a quick rundown of what these controls do. The first stack is a master volume and master tone. Volume's on the top, underneath is the tone. Next to that is the master blend, and then you have a master treble control, a master mid control with a mid frequency control underneath it, and then a master bass. Underneath that, you have a active passive switch as well for a preamp bypass, so you have a ton of different tones here. However, I've complained about this before, I think it's a bit much, especially for a jazz bass, and the Sire V5 proves that all you really need is the volume-tone setup, or a volume-tone, depending on what you like, but I don't think you really need all these controls to get good tones out of this instrument. So let's start out by checking out this neck pickup by itself. Yep, and these are single coil, so you're going to get some single coil hum if you solo the pickups. Here's what the neck pickup sounds like with the preamp centered. Not bad. Now let's go ahead and cut the preamp, see what that sounds like. And let's just bring in the bass control. Let's center that and keep the mid and treble cut. Not bad. Now let's center the treble control on top of that. And let's center the mid control on top of that as well. And now let's bring the master tone down to about 50%. And here's the tone all the way down. Not terrible. Now let's go ahead and check out the bridge pickup. Here is the bridge pickup with the preamp centered and the tone control at 100%. Honestly, this bridge pickup is a little disappointing. It doesn't really sound that, I guess, funky like you'd expect a jazz pickup to sound like in the bridge position for a 70s bass too. Oh, is BB stuck in the bag? BB stuck in a bag. Now here's the bridge pickup with the tone at 50%. Not bad. And here's the bridge pickup with the tone all the way down. Now let's go ahead and bring the neck pickup back into the mix and have both pickups together. Here's both pickups with the preamp centered and the tone at 100%. Not bad. Honestly, I think it sounds best with both pickups engaged, as each pickup by themselves doesn't really sound that great, honestly. Another thing that just gets me again is the massive amount of preamp controls. It makes me want to play my V5. The V5 is such a joy to play. It's $500, $600 for the fretless model. Has a roasted maple neck, passive volume tone setup. I think the same or similar pickups. And it sounds great, it plays great, and you don't have to deal with all this. You don't have to dial in any tones, it just has them. You just pick it up and you're good. You can cut the tone to 50% or wherever you want. You can dial in the pickups where you want them and you're good to go. You don't need 7 knobs and a switch to get where you need to go. Now I know you guys are wondering, how did she slap? She slaps good. It's Marcus Miller, I mean, come on. Yeah, this thing definitely slaps really well and nails that Marcus Miller tone. Though it almost makes me feel like this is a bit of a one-trick pony almost. Nails the Marcus Miller tone, but outside of that, I don't really see it as that great of a jazz bass, especially compared to its younger brother, the V5, which just came out and is a spectacular instrument. Now, let's go ahead and see what this sounds like in a mix. Oof, that was rough. Here are my final thoughts on the Sire V7 Vintage Ash. Honestly, it's not a bad instrument. It plays great, it sounds great. The problem is that the Sire V5 and the Sire V3 exist. This shares the same preamp as the Sire V3, same basic shape, just different materials, upgraded neck, upgraded tuners, and bridge. However, I still gripe about this proprietary screw pattern on the bridge. It makes replacing it with an aftermarket bridge rather difficult, and it doesn't have the standard Fender screw pattern. The pickups sound great, though they aren't hum canceling, so when you solo them, you do get a bit of single coil hum. I wish they'd include hum canceling pickups or something of the like, just like the Cort GB64JJ has in the Sire V7, as, I mean, it's a $750 instrument, and the Cort, which is a $450 instrument, has those pickups, and they sound just as good. I'm going to express my disappointment once more on the preamp. I think that this is way too much. It's great that you have a knob for every day of the week and then one for holidays, but really you don't want that, especially in a live setting where you may need to just tweak one control on the go.
Everyone needs a holiday knob.
Everyone needs a holiday knob, yes.
Love eggnog.
Eggnog. Oh, that's funny. Though I do appreciate the higher quality materials and the better neck on this bass, do I think that it's worth over twice the price of the Sire V3 and over $250 more than the Sire V5? No. So what am I going to rate the Sire V7 Vintage? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and rate this bass 2 claws out of 5. It's an average instrument with a below average price tag. At $750, this does not give you the same level of value that the V5 or the V3 give you. And that's disappointing, as a lot of Sire's other models seem to be with it, and this one just isn't really there. I found the V5 to be an exceptional instrument, and the V3 for $369 is an incredible value that gives the player a lot of tonal control. However, giving you the same preamp and just upgraded woods on a bass that now costs twice as much, I'm not digging it. Now I know Sires do not hold their value very well, and on the used market, you can have these very close to what you'd buy a brand new V5 or even a V3 for. So at that price, sure, it's worth it over the brand new model of the V3. However, brand new at $750 for this particular model, and starting at around $550 to $600 for the non-vintage version, I don't really think these are that great of a value, especially considering that you can get a V5 or a V3 for less, and in my opinion, get more for your buck there. I guess what I'm really trying to say is at the end of the day, you can get a V3, and it's going to sound pretty much exactly the same as this bass for half the money. So what are you really getting for that extra 100% of your cost, other than some snazzier looks and some upgraded hardware?
And a missing knob.
And a missing knob, but that was my doing.
Oh, my bad.
I did the missing knob. I broke it.
Naturally.
Naturally. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about my Sire V7 Vintage. And as always, until we groove again.